Hello, babies.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are you, fellas?
Great, you?
Great. Welcome to Sim Mind Sports Show. The culture of losing is sinking the Patriots, or at least has the potential to. A little bit of carryover from our Monday show, Bobby, which Raymond so eloquently bailed out of, which was nice. Thanks, Ray.
You're welcome.
The culture of losing is sinking the Patriots, on the verge of sinking their organization with decades to come. Ownership may already be looking ahead for solutions here, though. I want to talk about that. Will they admit their mistake? Did they pull the trigger too early on Bill Belichick, thrust Mayo into that job too early? And what might be the path forward? What's the best path forward? That's what I want to talk about from the Patriots and the Patriots free fall. We also have 10 questions from around the NFL with Bobby in our bye week, our God-given bye week of this Patriots hell. Thank you.
It came too late, though. I mean, it should have been earlier in the season. This was just way too long.
It's
Way too
December.
long.
It's like almost Christmas.
We broke Raymond with a mental health day at one of these shows because of the Patriots.
True.
I'm blaming it on the
True.
Patriots, not on
True.
me being mean. So we'll do 10 questions around the NFL, see what's happening there. We got the Red Sox and their billion-dollar bamboozle. They're doing it again, Raymond, the old bait and switch yet again. Is anybody ever going to learn? Or you have to listen here to find out what the Red Sox are doing again to your stupid ass. Yes, is Peyton Pritchard and the Celtics are bounced from the NBA Cup, Ray's favorite midseason.
Who gives a fuck?
Tournament. Of course, we've got simplest minds of the week. But as always, we start with opening takes. Raymond, you are back on suspension. Please, your opening take.
Thank you there, Richard. Yes, like we go into the bye week, what do we look forward to? Patriots, what are they going to do for next year? There's nothing. I mean, you're going to have a whole new regime here. The coordinators are gone. Van Pelt, Covington, they're gone. What is the bright spot for this Patriots team right now? It's Drake Maye and maybe Christian Gonzalez, and that's about it. I mean, looking to 2025, it is a clusterfuck that we're going to be doing this all again, second guessing. Maybe that guy should have stayed. Maybe this guy should have stayed. But in the end, Krafts just keeps fucking this up, and on to 2025, I guess.
Bobby, are you going Patriots opening take?
I am.
God damn it. All right, you go.
All right. Well, let me give a better take on what was generally the same premise than what that was. If the Patriots actually do go ahead and move forward and make a decision, they, believe it or not, will be a desirable location. They'll have a franchise quarterback, $100 million in space, and a high draft pick. And guess what? The best coach of all time is on the market. Things are looking up for the Patriots. Maybe they can convince that guy to come here.
Stay tuned. That's what you call tease in the biz there, Raymond. Don't ask the question. Let the listener ask the question. Who is the best on the market? We want to find out who that is, okay? I was also going to go Patriots and the fact that they anointed an interim coach for an entire season, which is what it feels like here with Jerod Mayo. But since you idiots went that path without letting me know, I'll switch gears in midstream here, and I'll go Red Sox. And again, their bait and switch of we're here to spend money. This is the year we're ready to spend. Juan Soto, $600 million. John Henry's talking to the agents. It's happening, people. It's happening, people. Bam! Here's a dick in your face. Arlandis Chapman and that 37-year-old wife-beating asshole. There's your signing, $10 million. And anybody that says, what does that have to do with Juan Soto? Nothing. It's just another indicator that they're not actually going to do what you think they're going to do, or specifically what they say they're going to do, which is spend money on big free agents. They lost on it last year. They did the same goddamn thing to you last year and years past. They're doing it again. The kings of quote-unquote interested are back, baby. They're back with this Juan Soto and Chapman signing. Open your eyes, Red Sox fans. Open your eyes. John Henry's not looking to spend a goddamn dime on this team. So there you have it. There's your opening takes. This is the Simple Mind Sports Show, Friday Rewind, live Thursday, December 5th. Welcome to the show. Apparently, the Celtics are dumb front-running pussies. This is the same team they have been for 4 years running.
Well, my worst nightmare came true. Missoula and Mayo are friends. What the fuck? Apparently, they've known each other since Virginia. They have these docking sessions where they talk about ball and managing people.
I'm on vacation. I'm going to quay all these. I'm going to fucking watch them this week.
Do you say quay?
Is it not quay?
It's Q. It's Q. It's Q-U-E. You idiot.
If you're watching on YouTube, you're welcome. It's a really nice evening. Bobby's got a new room. It looks fantastic, Ray. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast platforms, Thank you for listening. Rate, subscribe, review. Tell your friends, as always. Tell your mothers. And what you're going to want to tell them about is Behind the Paywall. That's our free access to our free newsletter. Well, we're going to pay for, curate, summarize all of the biggest, hottest stories from all of the pay-per-click websites. That's your Boston Herald, Boston Globe, ESPN, The Athletic, Boston Sports Journal, all the shit that they make you pay for. We've already done it. We'll read it slowly, carefully, summarize it awkwardly, but then get it to you so you can see it and you don't have to go through the painstaking payment and wherewithal to actually get through all that. All you have to do is go to the website or click the link in the description or the comment below, pop that email in there, get the free access to the newsletter. And Behind the Paywall, this week we're talking about Jerod Mayo, of course, and the demise of the Patriots in one way or another. There are several articles on that, so please go check that out. Join the revolution. Keep it simple. But that's where we want to start. You dopes and your opening takes, and Ray stealing opening takes. It's just behind my back. I give you a little insight via the email. I had a really unique approach to the same fucking story that's been talked about for weeks, and Ray, just poops on it and stumbles through it and fucks me up.
Fucked it up, and I fucked it up. So there you go.
Fucked it up. I'll get back to my opinion and the anointment of the interim coach.
It's a fascinating idea.
It's twofold. It's really to piss Bobby off because it's got a really nice Joey Maz angle, Joey Mazzulla.
I know. And, I knew that part was coming.
And it's created a real shitstorm for the Patriots, which obviously makes Raymond angry. And that's my old goal for this whole thing, is to take my fucking anger that I live with every day and spill it onto you through the interwebs every Thursday.
I appreciate
I'm talking to you, my co-host, and whoever's listening. Fuck you. Take my shit. Speaking of fuck you and taking their shit, that's what we're doing to the crap from the Krafts and the Patriots. Here's the biggest news, I think, out of the last week or so. Conflicting reports that the Krafts are calling around the league for head coaches, offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, and a little bit on the down low, even GMs. The Wolfpack might be in trouble, but also the conflicting part coming out from Albert Breer out of his mouth, right out of his fucking lips, that Mayo is quote unquote on solid ground. Which also Mayo, since basically he got the job, has been thinking that as well. Real quick, let's hear from Mayo, Raymond, in his thoughts in his second year with the Patriots already.
Best player, in my estimation, is Drake. Why not just let him cook? Why not just go for the attack? At this juncture, it's a team that is struggling to get wins. And I was wondering why no attack mentality. Have you been introspective and say, man, are we too cautious here? Why would it be that way?
I always try to reflect, after the games. And, now we're in the bye week, so there's definitely a chance and opportunity to reflect on the entire season up until this point and what we need to do going forward. Now, in saying that, I still have a lot to learn as well as the head coach of this football team. And I understood that, it's a very different role. In saying that, I tell the players the same thing. The biggest jump you'll ever have in your career is from year one to year two, as far as becoming a better player, a better professional. I'm sure 100% I will be a better coach in year two than I am in year one.
This dope. Of course, you have a lot to learn. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. You dope. He's a fucking idiot.
So much better next year. You don't even know.
Yeah. I'm going to learn from all my mistakes this year. And I'm going to be so
best.
much better next year.
That's the Tom Curran interview, NBC Sports Boston. Give them credit. Go listen to it. It's on YouTube and NBC Sports Boston. If you listen to the whole thing, it's under 30 minutes. He says the phrase, and in saying that,
that's the word of the day from this calendar on the nightstand.
He qualifies and explains everything that he says after he says it, which is Bobby and I, we're in the corporate world. It's such corporate fucking bullshit. The only thing, if he started ending his sentences with right and a question mark, I would have fucking jumped through the screen. In saying that, you want to reflect on every decision that you make, right? That suggestive corporate speak, fucking bullshit. It started to drive me crazy watching this interview. I didn't think that was what I was going to talk about on that clip in the intro to this segment. But sorry, had to get that off my chest. The year two thing, that's not the first time he said it. It's far from that. He says it all the time. The fact that he's going to make a jump from year one to year two. Bobby, we talked about this. This was my kind of thought on the Monday show. They are not coaching with any fear of losing their job or sense of urgency. It's the reason why they coach so conservatively. It's the reason why you're losing close games, because there's no sense of urgency. The job security is in place. They're already thinking about next year. They're already in a 3 to 5 year rebuilding mindset. And it's just the wrong approach. It's just obviously the wrong approach. They're not taking it game to game. They're not taking it year to year. They have a 5-year outlook like, well, let's just put the fucking steps in place moving forward. And in 5 years, we'll just miraculously be good. And I just think that little clip is kind of a microcosm of the entire group think down there at Foxborough.
What did he learn from
Already
Belichick?
looking towards fucking year 2.
When he was on the sidelines, what did he learn from Belichick? What was Belichick's philosophy? We're on to the next game. We're on to Cincinnati. You know, it's never look back in the past. It's on to the next one. This guy, like you said, Rich, he is on to year 3. He doesn't give a fuck what happens this year. It's just baby steps for him. He's looking to year 3, like what he can accomplish by then. It's not what he can do now. And it's just a piss poor product that you have on the field that you need to change immediately. There's so much drastic change that needs to come for year 2 that I don't think they're going to do. I think they're just going to sit on their hands and not do anything once again.
He's too worried qualifying everything that he does and trying to justify his decisions that he doesn't even take the results seriously. There is no, he's not worried about the results because there is that security. He's just thinking, he literally believes that in his own head, it's just after a couple of years, we're going to get this and all of a sudden everything's going to be better. But there is no proof that he can even make any of these results right now. You would never hear any other first-year coach talk the way that they are. You know, I'm learning on the job. I'm getting better. I'm this, I'm that. They would never say that. They would just talk about results and how they're going to get better and what they're going to do next.
He does not talk like a football coach, to your point, Bobby. He talks like a guy from corporate America, and that if we just implement our plan and our processes, he also said processes multiple times in this interview. I've used processes in my job, and I know I'm full of shit when I say it. I know I'm full of shit.
You know what the number one thing that he says and relates to football that makes me know that he's full of shit? He says, well, if you just take out this one long run and this one thing here, that's like if you're talking about like a work thing. Well, you know, if we just didn't do this, you know, we'd be great. And everyone's like, yeah, you know, I think we would there. But it's just like, that's not the way football works. It happened and you need to deal with it.
There's a wonderful blog behind the paywall that talks just about that mentality from the Patriots and their coaching staff. So again, click that link, sign up for the free newsletter there, get the behind the paywall. But yeah, Rick, can you play this next clip? Give me a second to set it up. Speaking of Mayo and the corporate speak and philosophy that he's bringing to the football field that is clearly not working. It's just written all over him. We see it from a football standpoint when we see him on the sidelines and his team is reeling. He was a rookie of the year, multi-time Pro Bowler linebacker, Super Bowl champion. We understand his resume as a football player. As a coach, he spent 5 years in the coaching ranks. We don't know necessarily what he did. We knew he ran a room, but he didn't call the plays on the field. That was Steve Belichick. So he's never actually called a defense in an NFL game. That's why he can't take the clipboard from Covington, who also has never called fucking plays. So I don't know what the difference would be other than Mayo leveraging himself into a bad situation. That's why he looks like a dope not doing anything on the sideline, because he can't. He has no experience actually doing it. So he's simply just there to implement these corporate philosophies into an NFL football team, which that may have a little part of it. But if you don't have the grit and grind from the actual football, the people are going to see right through you, man. It's about results and wins and yards, contracts. That's what it's about. Instead, here's what Jerod Mayo thinks it's about.
How often is there dialogue with Robert or Jonathan in terms of, hey, you know what? Wasn't what we were looking for, but we trust you. We've empowered you, and we'll talk about it later. How does it go, I guess?
Yeah,
I mean, they're very invested,
yeah, that's
literally.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Look, we speak all the time, and I would say, you know, even outside of football, they have other businesses. And so when you talk about all this stuff is about relationships. Coaching is about relationships. Business is about relationships. And they've been an open book as far as if I have a question on managing processes or, you know, leading people, they have been very open and honest with me and some of those things. And, it's going to make me a better coach going forward.
I'm not going to talk about it because I just talked for a long time. There's the processes. Did you guys hear him talk about football at all?
Nope. No. But he's got to be a better coach for next year, though. It will make it better.
When someone says it's all about relationships, that's the type of person that doesn't do the thing. He doesn't know shit about football. That's someone that a manager says when it's all about relationships, they don't know shit about the job that they're doing. Not a goddamn thing.
How many relationships do you think Belichick created in his in his 20 years of, he ruined the best relationship they had out of spite and sent this spiral to the point where they're fucking at. That's how much he cared about relationships. It's not about relationships, Strahd. It's about results. It's about results. That's true in corporate America too. It's just not as eminent and not as direct and not as in our face with the media coverage as it is in NFL football.
In positions that matter, it's about results.
Would you rather have
Would
have a relationship with this player, or would you rather win a fucking Super Bowl ring?
Well, we said that from day one. It's about turning these young boys into men before you have to create a love and a relationship before you can scold them and yell at them.
Because he's like 10 years older than half these guys.
This is not fucking Pop Warner Boy Scout.
JV, yeah, it's nothing.
These guys want to get paid, and most of them want to win. That's it. That's it. Shut the fuck up. God damn it. It's a good interview. If you haven't watched it, Curran, in a very diplomatic way, needles them a couple times, and they've got a relationship from their past with the media. But there's one point I'll just give you as an anecdote. He talks about the 2-point conversion in Tennessee, and Curran goes, I hated that. Like, very seriously, because if you listen to Curran, he bashes him for it on the post game, and then he kind of laughs in the interview, and they talk about it. But it's a good interview. Go watch it or listen to it. All right, so ownership, as we started off this segment, they conflicting reports that they are calling around the league to see who may be available for them at all significant positions. And they seem to be using the last final weeks to truly assess the season. So is this an admission of a fuck up? Obviously, they probably don't want this leaked, but is there some admission that they screwed this transition up? I call Jerod Mayo a anointed interim coach for an entire year, similar to Joe Mazzulla when Ime started. What do you call it there, Bobby? Dicking down the entire Celtics.
He dicked down half the organization,
or at least one significant female in the organization.
High up in the front office, high up in the front
Enough
office.
to get him canned and vault Joe Mazzulla interim role.
Thanks, Ime.
It's a somewhat similar situation, except Belichick didn't dick down anybody except for some 24-year-old.
Yeah, well, that's not entirely true. Yeah, he's been dicking down ladies for a while. We know.
That's true. He may be doing it on another college campus here soon if we want to get to that. The greater point here is there was no plan. They were forced. The Krafts were forced into this decision with Belichick and his spiteful arrogance and their failure last year and his screwing up of Mac Jones and Matt Patricia hiring. We don't have to go into the failures of Bill Belichick on the management side and his discretions here in the final years. Forced Kraft, I think, to make this decision earlier than he wanted to. And he pigeonholed himself into Jerod Mayo with whatever stupid contract and his unwillingness to break that contract when guys like Mike Vrabel showed up when he needed to fire Bill Belichick. And essentially what it seems like is Mayo and his staff went into the season with the understanding that it's kind of a fucking freebie. This was supposed to be Belichick's last year, and no one really gave a shit what he did. He was supposed to break Shula's record with a mediocre team, and maybe we'd be itching for the playoffs, but it was really about Shula's record over the last couple of years, and that's gone. So this year is just, whatever. Let's just see what we can do. Let's start building with Jerod Mayo and his corporate fucking bullshit, and in 3 or 5 years, we'll be back. That's how it works, right? No big deal. That's never not worked, trusting the process. So it's just a free interim year for Jerod Mayo, and the clock starts ticking next year, which I've seen way too many people, Patriots fans and alike, say that that's fine. No kidding. That's how it should work. No. That's just wrong. You can't throw away professional sports years. You can't. The Patriots had the easiest schedule by whatever standard you want to look at. And they had at least 4 or 5 winnable games this year that they would have won with better coaching, or at least better personnel, somewhere wherever you want to draw that line.
A little bit of both.
They threw it the fuck away with the mentality that came from the direct top of you're just basically an interim guy here this year. Let's really start turning up the clock next year. It just, it's tough. So what's the best way out? A, do you blow it up, start from scratch, get rid of all of them, do an actual start from scratch next year? B, bring them all back. Mayo's miraculous year 2 leap is going to take them all to the next step. Or C, delete and add on the margins, maybe bring some guys in, maybe get rid of some guys and see if you can kind of fill the gaps there in the in-between. What's the best approach here, Bobby?
I think the best approach is to blow it all out, get rid of them all, and start over. I think you actually have an attractive canvas for high-end coaches and executives to come in. Again, high draft pick, cap room, quarterback. That's all that they'll care about. They don't care about the rest of it because they'll think that they could fix all of it. So I think you blow it all out. I think what we'll get is option C, and maybe if we're lucky, a new defensive coordinator.
Do you worry about the backlash of blowing out a first-year coach? Well, maybe not you, but does Kraft worry about blowing out his first-year coach that he has so personally, publicly said that he has handpicked and is the guy for the job? Like, it's got to be in Kraft's mind, right? Like, that's a
It has to be. It has to be on his mind, but I think also that the Hall of Fame is on his mind, and he doesn't want to look like he's fucked it up. So if he admits he mistakes and then gets him out of here, then he can say, well, then I did fix it because I made this mistake, then I fixed it.
Yeah, Raymond.
The Hall of Fame's not in his reach anymore. I mean, with all the scandals. So, but I think C is the option. I think C is the only option. I think you're going to see Mayo come back. You'll see Wolf come back. But the coordinators are gone. I think we'll probably be coaching somewhere else next year. So won't Covington. They won't be in New England. They're going to try to bring someone in to be like a head coach or a or assistant coach to help Mayo, because clearly he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He needs help. So hopefully they can get a veteran in here, help him out, help him figure this shit all out. So year 2 is a little bit easier for him. He can call plays. He can go to these meetings and doesn't have to go to see Jonathan Kraft on Monday nights or Sunday nights and explain why he did what and, you know, get the tongue lashing from Jonathan.
Give your mother a tongue lashing last night. What you referenced there from the Monday, Sunday nights, Mayo, and that interview was asked how often he's talking to the Krafts. I don't know if it was in that clip or not. And he said that they basically review every game. So a little pat on the, you know, he's a little puppet there for the Krafts. But you said Mayo's gone or AVP is gone. I've been leading the charge on fire Alex Van Pelt from like week 3. Do we need to step back on that a little bit? It's the only part of this team that has, by the eye test, improved. Now, they are statistically still the worst offense in the NFL. But the eye test says that they improve. That I will save my answer. But do we need to give Alex Van Pelt a little bit? We need to step back on that train if he gets canned. Do we need to give him a little more credit?
The only reason why I take that approach is because Mayo and him did not get along. You can tell they don't get along. Beginning of the season, remember how he was like, you know, Jacoby Brissett's our guy, and then Mayo came in and was like, well, you know, it's anyone's quarterback. Yeah, anyone can be quarterback. Drake Maye has a shot. And you could tell that there was like some in-house, like they weren't on the same page or anything like that. And if you bring in a new coordinator, you're going to want someone like an assistant. You're going to want on the offensive side of the ball to help Drake Maye out to get to year 2 and get better. So I think that's why Van Pelt would be the one out.
I think ever since Drake Maye started, I think whatever icy relationship they've had is kind of glossed over. I think it obviously had something to do with that. But yeah, they move the ball, and he does appear, whatever Drake Maye is taking his coaching. I think that's fair to say. So if Mayo comes back, I think AVP stays with him, but then you bring in an experienced defensive coordinator so that there's an adult on that side of the ball.
Yeah, if the option's on the table, I'd dump him in a second. The rest of the team, I'm talking about Alex Van Pelt, the defense has gotten worse. The special teams has gotten worse. Neither of those units were injected with a number 3 overall pick named Drake Maye. He has been the difference in the offense, not Alex Van Pelt. If you listen to the professionals, Drake Maye's development fundamentally has not really changed from North Carolina. He's just kind of a fucking stud. He's kind of a really good football player. And that's what you're seeing on the field. Good and bad. Statistically, Drake Maye also sucks. If you look at it, he's bottom of the league in basically every statistical category that matters as an NFL quarterback outside of rushing, which people get all giddy about. Doesn't do dick for me. So now, if you want to talk about happy medium, Ray might have had it. If there's an offensive coordinator out there that can come in, run that side of the ball, you blow out Covington or demote him. We talked about this Monday, right, Bobby?
Oh, a good demotion. A good demotion. There's nothing. We don't see enough demotions anymore.
A nice fucking demotion. Just
I know exactly.
You're gonna stick around. And
Exactly.
watch this.
You're not going to go and get some better job elsewhere. You're going to stay here with a bad job because you're under contract.
If the Krafts are so dead set on keeping their anointed interim coach, Jerod Mayo, coach vibes, give him the defensive play sheet. Do what every other NFL team does, which I hate. He runs the defense. This other guy runs the offense, and go from there. And maybe that probably happens, honestly, with Alex Van Pelt. I don't think anyone's getting the door. Maybe Covington just as a sacrificial lamb for getting 3 wins in a season.
They might need a sacrificial lamb.
He definitely will. But I think Alex Van Pelt will be back. I think they will all be back. And they might add on the margins. Maybe.
It did work for that documentary Disney put on Remember the Titans. There was a defensive coach, head coach, an offensive head coach. They both split the play sheet. So it does work out.
Herman, leave no doubt. Headlines with the obvious one.
Thank you there, Richard. Another Sunday of sad beers as the Patriots blow another one. Rich correctly predicted the outcome as the Colts got the ball, drove 80-plus yards, scored a touchdown, and went for 2 to make the Patriots 3-10 entering the bye week. Happy Beer Sunday maybe now? The same people that made 2-hour delays or canceled schools today in New England are the same people who are upset that the Celtics are out of the NBA Cup. Soft asshole idiots. That's what they are. The Celtics continue to care about one thing and one thing only, and that is Banner 19. Since firing Jim Montgomery, the Bruins are playing winning hockey. Like Rich said, a shakeup was in order. The Bruins are riding a 3-game winning streak and 6-2 in the firing since Jim Montgomery. And now they take on the Flyers at 1 o'clock on Saturday and hopefully ruin Dr. Vittle's weekend. And finally, the Red Sox have signed Aroldis Chapman to a 1-year deal worth $10 million. This has been Headlines with the obvious one. Back to you there, Richard.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. God have mercy on your soul.
Really pumping my tires a little bit there in the headlines. I did call a couple things.
Yeah, he is.
Like that? Like that?
Because we had a little spat this morning. Want to give it a little love? That's how you do relationships, people. Okay?
Yeah.
Make up. Don't go to bed angry.